Naked Truth Film Club. And how amazing was that documentary? I actually thoroughly enjoyed sitting there watching the behind the scenes of, in fact, the American side of the story. Because obviously we're British girls and we work in the campsites here in the UK. And we have an amazing lineup here for you. I would love you all to introduce yourselves.
I'm Misha Mayfair and I used the campsite that was being used in here today, so every time I heard the tipping noise I kind of had a Pavlovian response like, shit, yes, hi.
I'm Lady Andromeda, I'm an online dom. I do use that website, but then I also use more than one website to do what I'm doing.
I'm Satine Spark, and then I also webcam. I don't use that site, but I do use a couple of other ones as well.
And I'm Linsey Dawn McKenzie, and I have actually been in the adult industry for 22 years. Too long, actually. I'm waiting to become a MILF. Well, I am a MILF now, and I'm waiting to become like the lady with the grey hair, because I hear that's where the most money is when you are older. Yeah, we're here today to take your questions and answers on the subject of webcams. And I do hope there's some fans of webcam here as well, because I've been waiting a long time. I've been camming since 2008. 2008. I work for various sites. I use a splitter. And yeah, I've really become quite adaptive actually with 3 cams running, talking to all 3. But if there's any questions you would like to ask us, as you can see, it's pretty, I mean, Naked Truth Film has pretty much covered what we do. There obviously are other questions you'd like to know and to know the answers, and I think this is a really good panel actually to bring you that information. So fire away. Have you got any questions for us tonight? Okay, the gorgeous girl there with the blonde hair. Who would you like to ask? Aww.
We do need to.
Well, I actually, obviously we all work in the same thing. I've worked for with big channels like you, etc. But it's sometimes more fun to work together as we all know each other.
Yeah.
It gets boring, doesn't it?
Webcamming together is quite a lot of fun, isn't it? I don't know if anybody...
Yeah, no.
Yeah, completely, because sometimes, like, after it's been a few hours, you kind of get a bit tired of talking to some, like, words on a screen, so if you have another girl, it kind of gets a bit more fun, you get to do a bit more fun activities, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, I do agree with you there. Because I do online domination, for me, sometimes I have my submissives there, so I completely flip the game. So for guys who come to see me, it's potentially an experience that they've been curious about. They not necessarily have had the courage to phone me to go and see a dominant woman or male or transgender person, whichever takes their fancy. Because it's about respecting their autonomy at the end of the day. But it's more fun when you do work with other people.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Me and my sister, who's here tonight, in fact my whole family seems to be getting into the business. Yeah, it's a great excuse for a girls' night in and a piss-up and a pizza, isn't it? Or a Chinese. And, you know, you're working with people who are fun. And that's my main thing, is what people say to me, you know, do you enjoy it? Oh my God.
You wouldn't
Of
be doing
course
it.
I do. It's like the best thing ever. It's the way I de-stress actually. Wanking all day and all night.
Yeah, it's natural. I think everyone, especially these days of Skype and shit, have like masturbated on cam to their partner or something like that. So it's kind of like supernatural to do these days. So it's kind of weird when people are like really judgmental of you doing it when you get paid, when people are on Snapchat like snapping dick pics to each other. It's like really...
I mean, years ago, I don't know if everyone remembers when the internet first came about and you had to plug the phone into the computer into the phone line to get the line. And I was with AOL, and AOL actually had a kind of chat live site where you can log in and just talk to anybody. So I actually have been doing webcam long before webcam came in, because I was like, listen, I've got AOL. Have you got AOL? Yeah, you got the chat? Yeah. Let's talk.
I've never been onto a campsite before, but what really came across, especially in these days where everybody is, oh, the girls are being trafficked, the girls are being forced to do something. It's how the girls really seem to be the ones in control, and it really empowers the girls. I think it's a really good message that comes out of it, that it's your choice to do it.
Yeah, everything is about choice.
Well played.
Everything is about choice, because at the end of the day, yes, we don't dispute that people aren't trafficked and people aren't in the sex industry not by choice. But that's a minority. What my thing now is, I look at it, if it's not for the Pandora Blakes, congratulations. If it's not for the Miles Jackmans of the world, standing up for all of us as a whole, I feel that a lot of us, we need to come together irrespective of, yeah, you're a glamour model, or yeah, you're an escort, or yes, you're a porn star. We all need to come together as a community and say, oi mate, leave it. We're not here for this. You know, it affects us in more ways than we really choose to acknowledge. You know, and a lot of it is about, we are oppressed in our sexuality, as the film clearly said, that, you know, we don't do things not unless if we want to.
Absolutely.
We're not forced to.
No way. And to be fair, I mean, if you're going to move into this kind of industry, you're going to have to be quite a strong, powerful person in your own mind to be able to cope with such situations. But personally for me, I'm the owner of Hard Drive, and we're a site that only takes established models that have been in the industry quite a while and that have built, you know, a following for themselves. The reason being is I wanted to take away that 5p a minute.
Yeah.
You know, every country's
But that's the
got
thing.
a group of girls. Like, I wanted it just to be models, only models.
That's the thing.
seeking
If
out.
you want the longevity in your business, because at the end of the day, we're all business owners. We're all entrepreneurs doing what we want to do and carve our careers the way we see fit to.
Yeah, exactly. I think camming's the most liberating kind of sex work for me, because it allows you to create your own brand, and then you kind of engage with an audience in a different way than perhaps escorting or doing like different kind of film work. For me, it's like you're just like your true authentic self in a sense, like how you want to portray your sexuality or your persona or your brand is like completely up to you. Like, and in a sense, it's like the best platform to be on where like you're like not vulnerable, basically. I think exactly what you said. You really hit the nail on the head.
Totally. Yeah, you hit it on the head there.
Can I ask this lady on the end here?
Yes.
How would you compare the film that we've just watched from America to the UK?
Well, I think in some ways it's quite similar. Like, it's nice to see there's obviously like a big mix of girls. I think with webcamming, obviously, most of us are just really just normal people having a bit of fun on there. But I must say, when I was watching it, I was surprised at like all the different ways that people webcam over there. Like, it seems like a bit more crazy and creative. But that might just be because obviously I come from a porn background, so for me, obviously, most of my webcamming is a bit more raunchy.
Yeah, I think, which everybody know, I mean, if you visited America, you know, hello, how are you? You know, and you're like, just got out of bed in a hotel, like, oh, yeah, great, thanks. You know, they seem to do so well at the whole fake, you know, wow, that's so funny. Whereas I think English people are a little bit more serious, and I mean, I'm not
I use that seriousness to market back to to America, because I'm English. So I'm not what they've got on their doorstep, so to speak.
Oh, absolutely not.
So
that's
for me,
why the
that's
guys
how
I love English people. I think it is because of our dryness.
Yeah, our
whereas
black
they're more, you know, in your face. Everything's so great out there. Whereas we're more.
Yeah, and then I think,
you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean, and then it depends like on the platform that you're using. Like on my free cams, people can like switch between your stream like continuously and go to another channel, and like if you're doing something more eye-catching, then you kind of like have to be like, hey, like super like up to get people interested.
Yeah,
to be
to
like
be on
that.
par.
Yeah, to be on par.
Thing.
So like on my free cams, like it's like constant energy. But I suppose if you're doing it like on a more like a booking basis,
Are
or
we
like
talking
work.
free?
No, it's called My Free Cams, but you tip people on those private sessions. That's the website
Yeah.
that goes on there. But it's not at all free.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that's the website they're using there. So you kind of like really have to build a gimmick,
Yeah.
which is slightly different than like adult work and a lot of
Well, I
people.
suppose it's what they're used to, isn't
Yeah.
it? And if you are going to join an American site, you kind of have to fit in to their way.
Yeah, you've got
You
to
know,
make
it's-
sure you kind of
yeah.
conform, so to speak.
Do we have any other questions out there?
Yeah,
Hello?
I've got one. Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Yeah.
You talk about finances. What's the financial difference from being a porn star to being a webcam model? Is there more financial gain from one to the other?
Well, the gain is that you go and shoot a scene, you're getting paid once. You know, you get one fee, and that movie's being watched 1 million times. You know, a one-on-one, they're paying, one person is paying you, they're seeing one show.
So Cam is more...
Cam is absolutely much more
Definitely.
beneficial.
But then also you've got the flip reverse of that, where you've got custom clips, where people have their own specific porn fantasy, that they might have that ability to meet that particular porn star or that particular dominatrix or that particular cam girl. If they've branded themselves right, people will pay. You know, if you've got this ultimate fantasy where you want it to be a certain way, that person can actually provide that service, and that's where it starts to separate. So when I went to AVN in January, the porn industry, they're starting to feel it, because now what they turned around and blatantly said, the porn stars are the cam girls are the new porn stars.
Yeah.
You've got the social media. You market yourself right, and it's about you as a business. It's no different, we're selling. It's not different whether I'm selling a CD or I'm selling a pair of shoes.
Absolutely, then it gets easier because then you don't have to be like super sexual. You can just chat shit to people and you're still getting paid. Like seriously,
Well, this
that's
is it.
like
I think this started a long time ago, long time ago, when actually fan club was the thing.
Yeah.
You know, I used to get sacks full of letters and have a fan club that they paid a subscription every month.
Yeah,
By post, by the way.
Yeah, and
None of that internet, you know.
And I'm sure that you would, like, if you said they knew when your birthday was. Now with the social media, people just tweet their Amazon wish list. They're telling delivering home.
You know that.
So like, shoes courtesy of some slave, dress courtesy of some slave. So it's that kind of thing. It's all about how you choose to make your business. I'm a mum. I fit everything around my daughter. So for me, I'm like, hey, do what you want to do. And I have the flexibility. My business has given me the flexibility to be true to myself. And that's the most important thing. And with what I do, pardon?
You choose when you work.
Yeah.
Opposed to in a porn shoot.
You're your own boss.
I'm my own boss.
you can cam in your pajamas and still get paid.
Yeah, I cam
It's
in my
amazing.
pajamas.
I wake up in the morning, just literally open up the cat. I don't care. This is what I
But then
look like in the morning. Deal with it. If you
This
don't
is
want
the
to,
thing,
you
it's
don't
real.
have to.
This is the thing, it's that more authentic way that people just want to know, you're a normal person.
Yeah, it's an online GFE, really.
Pretty much.
I really do think that that's what the guys really appreciate, seeing the normality and actually getting to know you as a real person.
Yes.
And not just this big porn star that they've seen in a movie and those little snippets that really get them going, you know, that they watch over and over and over again. But yeah, no, I find that it is actually really inspiring for the guys to get to know us as people.
We have
And that's the
we
way
have thoughts and feelings, and we have shit days too.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Do you feel safe during camming? If not, have you ever had any problems via a client?
Oh.
Got you guys.
You never get me, Goddess Ashley.
No, me neither.
Well, I've never had any problems webcamming myself. I suppose it's obviously you've got like the protection of your free webcam. You're on a screen, and you can just switch it off if you're done with it. And if you're, if you're not in the mood, you don't have to webcam. I think that's one nice thing about it is when you're doing it, you can choose if you're not in the right. If you're not feeling it, you don't have to.
Yeah, I once had a few times had people shout my username at me, "Hey Misha," or just stare at me, and I'm like, "I see you too. I know you. Just come and say hi." It's a little bit weird, but that's it. That's as far as it goes.
I don't actually believe it's any different to doing anything else in the adult industry, or even being a celebrity, or even being in any kind of magazine. Does any of us feel safe? Is this world safe? It's not a safe world. You can walk down the road and get blown up.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You know?
I think also where a lot of the cam sites, you can select where you want to advertise and the type of clients. So, for example, with my free cams, I can say I don't want no one in Europe to see me. Or I can cut off any particular area I want. So if I feel that conscious with my free cams, I remember that you can lock it down even down to the state.
Yeah, you can do it the city.
Yeah.
So if you're in London, you can block out the entirety of London or a certain county. It's really specific. It's actually got quite a good safeguard in it, and you can ban people really easily.
Yeah.
And the mods are quite good too.
So, down here at the front.
How did the legislation affect you last year, and how would you like to see that improved?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, so it didn't affect me at all, but go ahead.
Well, for me, as a female dominant, it affects me in a major way. This is where I was going back to what I said earlier regarding we as a community, we need to be more vocal together. It's not about everybody saying, all right, yeah, that's our problem, but we ain't going to deal with it because it don't affect us. It affects us all, whether we like to acknowledge it or not, and it shouldn't just be the Pandora Blakes, the Miles Jackmans of the world. It needs to be everybody. Everybody really needs to stay and stand up and say, actually, you're messing with my money.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? You're messing with my money. And it's another thing of, people stigmatise us for all the wrong reasons. We are counsellors fundamentally. Anybody who works in the sex industry, you are a counsellor.
I agree with that.
You are a counsellor because you,
an expert.
Yeah,
exactly.
you're a sexpert. Because at the end of the day, we as British people, we are very closed-minded regarding our sexuality.
Well, we're the kinkiest, but on a more practical note, the legislation, I just have it hosted in different countries.
Yeah, well that's it. A lot of people have got round certain things.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
A lot of people have got round things that way, but my thing is this: you're making them. I don't see the logic in it because you're making the money go elsewhere. You want to tell us that we need money in the country, and you want to keep money in the country. Well, porn makes a lot of money. Hello.
I think it's actually up there with one of the biggest industries in the world.
It's the GDP part of our country. That's what they do. They take porn into consideration. They take drugs into consideration. So, it's a bit of a hypocritical
Let's just
thing.
hope everyone's paying their taxes. Okay, should we have another question?
Following on from that, are there any particular legal issues that you face, say with third parties, and how do you tackle those?
Legal
Any
issues.
sort of legal issues that you find?
Legal issues such as.
I know,
give us an example.
Like third parties becoming involved when you're camming.
You mean the partner of the guy?
Oh,
the,
do you mean,
the
you mean
wife?
like Ofcom or something like that? I mean, mainly to get around that kind of issue, it depends on how heavily the website moderates itself. Most of the websites are based in the US or somewhere some kind of remote island where no one's ever going to get to them. So we kind of managed to get around that really well. The only people who really fuck me over are PayPal, so never use PayPal. If I ever fuck PayPal.
Let's not go there, but that's why you use Vince. Sorry, I just have to just say that. That's why you use Vince, everybody.
PayPal, I find them very hypocritical, PayPal, because they're actually involved with a dating site, which is more like Plenty of Fish. So it's more like a sexual site of meeting up.
Well, it's because it's the politically correct version of it. At the end of the day, they don't want women particularly, to be empowered by their bodies and us owning our stuff. and doing what we want to do as females.
And it's still they can steal your money too, man. They stole £500 from me.
That's why we don't use PayPal. That's why you don't use PayPal. Which is quite funny because they've just recently changed their terms and conditions. I don't know if anybody's aware of that. PayPal have changed their terms and conditions. I happened to see someone actually tweet it a few days ago where it's like they're kind of trying to relax the law about the different forms of, it's very sketchy, about sex work.
They probably just realise their profits are down now that everyone's left.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I've done Cam for 8 years, and have you noticed when you switch on, if you've done all channels, that all outside work you helps you get a big audience? Because I won't go on for weeks, I'm a bit lazy. But when I go on, it's crazy, so I'll ask some of the other girls to come over, we have fun. But have you noticed like stars come up, like the new stars?
Yeah.
Webcamming.
Yeah, I've noted. I think that goes back to the social media because people advertise themselves through that social media platform.
The right promotion, the right marketing. I mean, look at Live Jasmine. It's huge. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's in your face.
But that's years of data mining and them starting that stuff.
It's been about being with the right PR team.
That
you
too.
know, if you've got the right PR behind you, you're running. Literally.
But the only thing I dislike about Live Jasmine is they only pay you 35%.
Yeah, do people use Live Jasmine?
Okay, let's just tell everybody how it is.
Yeah, be upfront.
So, a lot of cam sites, what my argument about is, with cam sites, why I've decided to use lovely split cam software.
Yeah.
So I can be on a multitude of sites, so I'm maximising my time.
With one picture.
One picture.
I love that. And there's also many cams.
Yeah.
You know, there's 2 different softwares. And I think realistically, whatever works best for you is whether you've got strong Wi-Fi. If you've got strong Wi-Fi, happy days. If you haven't, I mean, I've just recently bought a new home. I was like, what's the Wi-Fi like? I'm not buying this house until I find out what the Wi-Fi is like.
Did you see them in the garden on the trampoline? The first thing I thought was, how is their Wi-Fi signal there? I was like, how?
My life's run by the Wi-Fi. It's terrible.
I think we're all... But as long as you've got internet connection, you can work anywhere.
Okay. Here we go.
I'm really curious about, I'm looking at all adult work, TV productions, what percentage of these companies are owned by women? I know you've got a company.
Hard drive, it's up there.
Well done.
For me, as a female, it's really important. I don't like the idea of guys making money. So I'm up for encouraging women to own, we need e-girls to start setting up websites.
That's like the Yuffie lands of the place.
I mean, no disrespect. Adult Work is an amazing site. They were the first, well, I think one of the first, but...
Sorry, Linsey, I was interrupted. Linsey's not the only female owner of a webcam company. There is also Hannah Brooks.
Hannah Brooks,
yeah, she runs Hot Cams.
That's right,
It's about numbers and percentages.
There's a lot of women coming up now in the business.
What I was going to say is because I'm in it and because I know how we are, I like everything to be dealt with. With Adult Work, you have a problem, if you want to hear from them, forget it. You know, it's 2 brothers up north driving their Lamborghinis, not bothered about us or anything to do with us, really. Not even bothered about promoting us on Twitter or anything. They have no fan kind of site, like for people to join on and talk.
It's really bizarre. It's so outdated.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
their traffic is just out of this world.
But
it really
that's
is.
because they've created a...
Well, it's because they've been there since 2008. And
Can I just say that I think the way the porn industry, I'm the owner of TM Productions, by the way, Tiffany Morris. I've been in the industry for over 12 years, and I think the way the industry is going now, the female performers have to do it for themselves.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was in AVN.
You're a one-man band.
The performers now have to literally edit, upload.
Well, that's it. That's why I was referring to Yuffie Yalang, because she does cosplay, porn. Yeah. And she does everything herself, and we've come to that point of. That's why I said the power has shifted.
It definitely has.
The power has shifted in a major way for.
I do believe that's from Cam.
We would all like to see that, but unfortunately they do have the monopoly.
I don't know what. If adult work vanished, so would my income.
But then you know what? A lot of us, truth be told, when adult work gets a cyber attack, we all take that hit and we're all on Twitter going, "Oh my God, we can't make no money."
See, but the thing is, I'll just say with hard drive, I've realised this. I've realised that everyone is a one-man band, and that's why hard drive has a mobile button that you can actually put on your own website, and you can have your own fans access your webcam through your website.
That sounds very similar to Model Centro. They kind of
It probably
do that.
is. I mean, we're all similar in some kind of way. But what it is for us is we're more like, if you haven't got a website, don't worry, because this is your home-based page.
Yeah.
We have your Twitter feed on there. We have everything.
Yeah.
If you know, we're working on building something like a forum.
Sorry, Lindsay. It's the first time, in all fairness, I've heard of hard drive. So that's another platform to webcam from. And then you can get a button to put on your own hard drive. You can then
Can't wait, girls. Come on board. Come in my club. You'll love it.
Yeah, as long as you're accommodating.
Darling, we're doing a show together. Don't you worry about that.
You can webcam through your platform, but you can also get a button. Just out of curiosity, what percentage does the actual
35%, like to them, and then the rest to you.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right,
I think we all need to keep it the same.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree with you.
When I have actually joined sites where they want 65% and I get 35%. Hold on a second here.
I'll definitely be joining up.
Oh, I can't wait. I look forward to it. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'd rather give my money, my sex working money to a woman.
Yeah.
No disrespect to any guys in this room.
Bless you. I'd just like to say as well, I mean, I just dislike greedy people. And there's a tribute button on there as well. And if anyone wanted to give you a tip, they only take 15%. So, it's not being greedy.
That's a major thing for a lot of performers.
Yeah, it's a tribute button, and even for anything, if you were selling a pair of used panties, they could tribute you, and you know you're only going to lose 15%. It's not a massive amount of money.
Yeah.
You know, I want to keep things fair. Because I'm a girl that works too, and I'm with you all.
And that's why
family,
you're going to be
right?
Exactly.
Family.
That's probably why you're going to be more successful with it, because you've worked in the industry. You know,
I've been robbed.
There you go.
What about how quick you can order your money?
Yeah, and another thing,
Hello,
not
now
here
we
just to
really
promote
are
hard
talking.
drive. I'm here for all your bread. But we do have a 3-day turnaround. Your money will be in your account within 3 days.
Yeah,
We
but
like
Girlz,
it.
Girlz,
We like
this is
it.
my
Why
point.
keep holding your money for 2 weeks?
And get
It's only
interest.
to gain more money off you in interest.
Girls,
Exactly.
let's not be
Listen,
dissing the
we're
men
not
here,
fools.
right? Let's not be dissing the men here, right? Don't forget they create the hardware and the software. Yeah?
But you have to remember this.
To take some of the
But you
roles.
might have to remember this. The
Make
man
the
is the head of the household.
carry
The
the
woman
heavy
controls
load.
the neck. But we do appreciate.
Go, girl.
We do appreciate. We don't get that twisted.
Yeah, man, show some love to the men, yeah? Come on. No dissing adult work. You know they've been around for years and supporting you.
But that's the thing.
Terry started to get a whole insecure on the
respect to
camera.
them.
Is like shaking.
We're not. At the end of the day, we use their services.
I'm sorry to say, but the women's about
Can I just say something here? No one has ever kept a woman down.
Yeah.
No one.
That's
No,
right.
no, that's not true. If that was the case, these women up here on the panel here would all be drawing dull chicks. But come on, let's be realistic here. Let's not make it a man, an anti-man.
That's why I'm saying it's no longer a man world. It's becoming now, it's coming back to women.
Yeah, we'll be ruling that world soon. Bring back the Iron Lady, that's what I say. Okay, we've got the last question of the night. Hello.
It's Charlotte Rose. I'm reading this on behalf of Jerry Barnett from Sex and Censorship.
Oh, I love him.
And he's given me a statement to read, and it begins like this. The AVMS regulations were introduced to the UK by AdVod in 2010. AdVod insisted that adult sites must verify that all visitors are over 18 before they are able to access any adult content. As a result, from 2010 onwards, a parade of adult sites closed their doors and moved out of the UK. But AdVod was restricted to regulating TV-like on-demand programme services, so they couldn't pursue sites that were not TV-like, live streaming services or still photography. So until now, sites that clearly are not video-on-demand services have managed to evade the regulations. Webcam sites and photography sites aren't covered by the regulations. Also, 2 adult video sites have successfully appealed and so remain free for now. Dreams of Spanking and Urban Chic Supremacy Cell. But this is all about to change. In the recent online porn consultation carried out by the government, it was made clear that a future change to the law will extend the existing regulations in at least 2 ways. First, the new law that will cover soft content. The existing regulations only cover hardcore porn. Second, the law will cover all forms of content, not just video on demand, which means websites, webcam sites, blogs and video sites with adult content will now be covered by the regulations. Among other things, this means that the webcam industry will be attacked in the same way that the porn industry was in 2010. The new law will give Ofcom power to disrupt sites even if they're based outside the UK by removing billing, advertising and other services that they need in order to do business. It seems all but certain that adult work and similar sites will see a steep decline in revenue, and this will affect Cam Girlz and those who sell their content on such services. The situation is evolving rapidly, so please join Sex and Censorship's mailing list or the Facebook page to keep an update for sexandcensorship.org.
Yeah, I strongly agree everyone should join.
Definitely.
I mean, it's a tough, difficult situation. I mean, to verify every single person. Surely, how can they pay for a webcam show if they've got no credit card because they're under 18? You know, I'm thinking maybe there should be some sort of site where you log on, you verify yourself, you prove you're over 18, and then you have access to every adult site with a code.
It's kind of the thing is these camming websites. You shouldn't actually be able to see anything hardcore in the public chat room because of their own rules. All these kinds of camming websites have terms and conditions, and most of them is that you can't do anything hardcore in the free chat. Otherwise, if you can, I'm not sure about Chatabate because I kind of avoid that site because I have a real grudge against it. So maybe it's different there. But I know on my free cams that technically in the rules you're not supposed to do it. So I think if it comes to that, that's the case, and I think it'll probably be maybe they just enforce that more. But then I don't know. They have so much money. It's kind of like
to be honest. Thank you very much, ladies.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up here, guys. But thank you so much for everyone that attended today. And I hope that, you know, watching this documentary has opened your eyes to something new and you just get straight home, get your cards out and get on that webcam. We love you. Thank you. Mwah.